major chord his love, and she got it right. What she played it on came from the light.
Welcome to Grandma's Journals. This channel began with a collection of handwritten journals, pages filled with everyday moments, quiet faith, family stories, and a kind of wisdom that only comes from a life well lived. These journals belong to my Grandma Peggy. Inside them are her thoughts, her prayers, her joys, and her struggles. Moments that may have felt ordinary at the time, but now feel priceless. My hope is that as you listen, you'll feel connected to her story and maybe even your own. Thanks for being here. This is Grandma's Journal.
The beauty of the song is joy in her eyes. The major chord is love, and she got it right.
Hello, beautiful family. Welcome back to another episode of Grandma's Journals. This is definitely becoming my favorite day of the week when I get to sit down and record this podcast. So I am grateful to those that listen and are excited for it every week. So we will jump right into things. I'm going to invite everybody back 42 years to 1984. That is where we left off. So we will just jump right in and see all the things happening in the life of Grandma and Grandpa in 1984, starting in January. It seems I always think of New Year resolutions to make, so I never make any that... Sorry, this is not off to a good start. So she says, it seems I always think of New Year resolutions to make, so I never make any, that way I don't break them. So she thinks of them, but she doesn't make them. I just try harder for my goals and reach new ones every year. This is so I can say that I was better this year than the year before. The little dog that a friend of mine gave me in October was 3 months old on the 13th of January. She is cold black and not one other color on her. You can't see her eyes, but you know they are watching every minute of what you do. She is a lively little ball of curly fur and is a lot of company for Alec and I. Her name is Coley. If someone reads this book and thinks that 2 or 3 people wrote it, they are wrong. I started learning how to write calligraphy, and it changed my handwriting so much. I can't write print, or half the time I forget if I am printing or what. So I'm going to stop there because obviously no one else has seen the pages besides me. But first, her dog Coley. So fun little fact. Back in November of 2003, I got a dog. My parents got me a dog, and that dog was little and pitch black. He was black as black can be. And I was trying to think of a name for him, and my dad said, well, Grandma had a dog once, and he was completely black, and they named her Coley. And I was like, that is perfect. So I named my little dog. He was a boy, not a girl, but he had the same name, Coley. So we both had a dog named Coley. But I wanted to show you guys. So she's talking about if people are reading this, they might think different people wrote it. And that is because, here, let me get some pages, okay? So if you guys can see, for those watching the video, if you're just listening, I'm sorry you can't see this. But if you're watching the YouTube video, you can see this, okay? So this is Grandma's normal handwriting, right? That's what we all recognize. That's what we know Grandma's handwriting to look like. So this is how Grandma normally writes. But in these, in 1983, she started learning calligraphy, and she switched her writing, and it started looking like that. So more kind of the calligraphy letters and stuff. So that's why she's saying it might look like 2 different people wrote it, because it went from looking like this to looking like that. So anyway, so that is what she is talking about when she's saying people might think that different people wrote this. Okay, I gotta make sure I don't get it out of order here. Anyways, okay. So back to her journal. All right, this January will be my 4th year teaching seminary in the Elfrida Ward. We have a great bunch of kids here. I love the youth and enjoy the mutual and teaching the youth. I like to be involved in different organizations. I am vice president in Lioness Club for 3 years and secretary of the Valley Food Bank Services. I also help at the schools when asked. I taught some of the art classes with no sub was able to be there. January 24th was our oldest grandson's 10th birthday, and that's Clint Hargrave. He is becoming quite a little man. He plays baseball. He is pitcher on his little league team with Valley Telecom Communications. He is in the 4th grade and reads at 6th or 7th grade level. He is a real smarty, but also a very humble guy. February 1984. This year I took on a new project, doing first year sewing for 4-H girls. Our first meeting, February 7th, was real nice. I met my girls who were 9 and 10 years of age. I only had 3 of them, Cece, Gina, and Amy. They were so enthusiastic and eager to get started. I hope I can do a good job and keep the girls interested. March 1984. March was so busy. We started out the first with Stephanie Hunt's birthday, Steve and Jennifer's daughter. The second was a dance for the youth, myself and 5 of the youth attended. Steve and Jennifer's oldest daughter had a birthday on March 7th and is 6 years old. Also, Tanner Hargrave had a birthday on the 9th of March and is 7 years old. The ward had their Young Artist Festival, and we had a lot of youth participate. Also, we had two of our youth go and participate in the stake. Georgiana Mortensen and Wendy Warren. Okay, again, I'm going to pause for a minute because, you guys know that I love, connecting people before they were actually connected. So, Wendy Warren, of course, at that time, I didn't know her because I wasn't alive, but she was just a youth, right? Little did anybody know at that time that, she just said that Steve and Jennifer's oldest daughter, Tabitha, had a birthday on March 7th. Little did anybody know that one day, Wendy Warren would become that 7-year-old's or 6-year-old, however old, 6-year-old's sister-in-law, because Tabitha would later, in the 90s, down the road, marry Wendy's little brother, Travis. So I love when names pop out and you're able to connect the dots before there were any dots to connect. So anyways, I love it. I love connecting people. So, okay, back to the journal. On the 24th of March, our girls had a yard sale in which a house full of nice furniture was auctioned off. The girls made over $2,000, which they will use to take them to Flagstaff for Horizons 84, a multi-stake event taking in many Arizona stakes. 7,000 girls plan to be at the special event. Our food bank distributed food for March, and 4-H meeting was on the 27th. Our stake has their youth mini conference for the youth, classes, activities, and a dance in the evening. April 1984. There was no hunt reunion this year due to 2 of the family celebrated 50th wedding anniversary and illness with others, but I'm sure next year there will be another one. We had Easter at the house this year with all the kids and grandkids here. It was quite a house full, but fun to be with them all. We celebrated Cameron's birthday on April 21st, son of Lori and Bill Fricke. June 13th, 1984. We went to Mesa so Alec could attend a water rate hearing for the water company. While he was there, he called Salt River Project and was talking to one of the bosses. He told Alec there was a job coming up where he could commute if he wanted to. He told Alec to put in his application and they would call him in a few weeks. On Tuesday, June 26th, they called him to come to work on Monday, July 2nd. He had his physical on Monday and went to work at Salt River Project, Tuesday, July 3rd. So there's the beginning of Grandpa and SRP, which is awesome. June 29th, 1984. We went to Mesa for a very special occasion. Steve had received back his priesthood after 5 long years, and he and his wife had prepared to go to the temple and take their 3 beautiful daughters to be sealed for time and all eternity. At 10 a.m. on Saturday, June 30th, Jeanette, my oldest daughter, Alec and I, and Jennifer's parents and lots of friends, ex-bishops and others attended their beautiful ceremony at the temple. The girls were so darling, and as they handed Steve his daughter Stephanie, she looked at me and with that cute little wave of hers said, "Grandma, hi Grandma." It was so cute and beautiful. A brother Harold Skinner performed the seminary. He was full of good advice and there was humor in his talk, but very spiritual in the seriousness of what was taking place. Afterwards, we went to Lori's and she had a beautiful luncheon, which about 40 people attended. So that, for me, even though I was not born yet, that was a very special day for my family because that was the day that that we all became an eternal family. And then me and my little brother had the privilege of being born into that covenant. And even though my parents are no longer married for time, that sealing, that covenant is still in place, which is special. So, what a good day. All right, Sunday, July 1984. Alec and I attended church at our old ward, Lehigh 2nd Ward in Mesa. We saw many faces of people we knew, but many we didn't know. It was nice to be back home and say hi to those we knew. We returned to Lori's, and Jeanette and I were to be on our way home. I was really not looking forward to it because I knew I'd be leaving Alec behind, because the next day he was going to work for Salt River Project. We left about 12:30 with Jeanette's 4 children and was on our way home. It was hard to tell Alec goodbye because I knew it would be like this for a while. Alec worked the 2-3-4. Alec worked the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th, and was home on the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Went back to work on the 9th. He has been gone 7 days this time. He works 10 days on and 4 days off. When Jeanette and I got home, her 2 little boys, Justin 6 and Tanner 7, wanted to stay with me, so they stayed until July 5th. Then they went and celebrated Brooke Ann's birthday. Turn the page. At their home. Brooke Ann turned 3 years old and was so thrilled it was finally her birthday. She sang louder than anyone. We brought her oldest son, Clint, back with us, and Alec left Monday at 2 a.m. so he could be to work at 7 Monday morning. I sure hated for him to go. 10 days is a long time, but I guess he's going to make sure I didn't get too lonesome. He had agreed to paint the post office, so Tuesday the 10th, Doc McCullough and I and Clint started painting the post office. We did it in off-white. It was a light and dark green. Also, we still have the water company, so there is much work to do in that area. Also, Clint and I have been going to the garden every morning to help Granddad. We have squash, cucumbers, and beans, and okra coming off. Wednesday the 11th, Tuesday the 12th, and Friday the 13th, and Saturday the 14th, we painted the post office. We were almost through and ran out of paint. In 3 days, Alec will be home, and I will be glad, even if it's only for 4 days. I really miss him, but keep really busy, and the days are passing fast. Lynette Colette has moved back in the ward and she is doing lots of toll painting, which I love, and we've been trying to get together, but I've been so busy. She finally came over one evening and we painted till 1 in the morning. I guess I will have to learn to stay up late. That seems like when I find time for my artwork. Jeanette and the kids came and stayed Friday and Saturday, and Friday night we went to the movies in Bisbee to see The Natural with Robert Redford, one of the heartthrobs of the 80s. Both young and old are in love with him. The show was great, and as always, Redford was at his best. All right. Sunday, July 15th, 1984. I'm sorry, I keep pausing, but I think maybe I'm just like, I don't know if I'm just like extra sensitive today, but for some reason, just reading about how much Grandma is missing Grandpa when he's gone on these 10-day trips. Like, it's like, my emotions are just like catching in my throat because I'm just thinking about, I should have not even started talking, but, I don't know. It just makes me think how much she's missing him now. 10 days felt like a long time then, but over a decade has passed. Okay, sorry. I shouldn't have even... I should pause and get my emotions under control. Okay, moving on. Sunday, July 15th, 1984. Clint James Hargrave attended church with me. It seems strange not having Alec here to go. For 5 years, he has hardly missed unless he was attending elsewhere. So it was nice to have Clint here to go with me. It was a real nice service, and Clint has been here 11 days, and I have really enjoyed his company. He is my first grandson. Alec will be home on the 19th, and I will sure be glad. I can't hardly stand being apart. He is such a loving person. Never a day goes by that he doesn't tell me how beautiful I am and that he loves me. And he always holds my hand or has something special to say, and oh, how I miss that. July 18th, 1984, Wednesday. I was so excited all day. I came over to Cochise to babysit for my grandkids while Jim and Jeanette went to Tucson. I spent the night, and the next day, Clint had a ball game. He pitched lefty, and his team won the game. I was so excited I could hardly wait to get home. I forgot Alec's dad, Clark Hunt, and stepmom Ruth Hunt was following behind, so I pulled the truck in a driveway and waited for them to get there, and then I followed them home. Clark has trouble driving at night. He has a fairly new car and forgot the light dimmer was on the steering wheel, so we had highlights on our faces till we got home. Alec had pulled in just before I got there and was unlocking the door. I could hardly wait to get out of the truck and have that old sweetheart of mine hug me, kiss me, and hold me. It was great to have him home. His 4 days off went fast, many things to do, and not near enough time to really visit, but we hope it's not this way forever. July 29th, 1984, Sunday. We had our third missionary farewell for Roger Collette. Now we have Dana I don't know if it's Lehman or Lehman, Bart Robbins, all out in the mission field. That is quite a record for the Elfrida Ward. August 1984. I can hardly believe August is here and Alec will be home tonight. I was just as anxious as ever to see him. I could hardly wait for him to arrive. August 2nd, Alec and his dad went to the auction today to buy cattle. I know he needs to be with his dad, but he just got home and I was selfish and really didn't want him to go, but I never said anything. Friday the 3rd, we went to town and it was nice, just him and I. When we got home, we hurried and had dinner and got ready to take some of the young people to the dance in Wilcox. It was 1 a.m. before we got home. We both slept well. Alec was up early. I slept till 7:30, but felt good I could still handle the youth at age of 49, and I hope I still can at 69. I love all of them. August 4th, Saturday morning, a friend of ours, Ray Burden of Mesa, came by about 9 a.m. and wanted Alec to take him around to find a ranch. They were gone all day, but found lots of beautiful land and places. The area is green and beautiful at this time of year and great cattle country. We were glad to see him and enjoyed his visit. Another day without Alec, but I guess I'll live through it. Sunday, August 5th, 1984. We had a real nice meeting. It was Fast Sunday, and Alec and I bore our testimonies with lots of others in our ward. And Sunday school, Alec was asked to read a scripture. I don't think I heard the scripture, but I remember feeling so strongly how lucky I was to have him in church, reading the scriptures at my side. I think of my families and their marital problems and the worldly life they lead, and how fortunate I am to have the priesthood and the love of my main guy. Our bedroom is upstairs, and when he leaves at 2 a.m. in the morning, I have to look out the window and watch him leave. I always yell down, "I love you, be careful." When an empty feeling as he pulls out of the driveway down the lane, I know it'll be another 10 days without him. August 6, 1984. The month has finally arrived for Horizons 84. I have been busy getting ready for the trip to Flagstaff. I had sewing to finish for 2 people before I left, plus I'm sewing for myself and Lynette Collette's husband, who has been building shelves in my den. Lynette and I have been working also because we are going to open a craft and gift shop. We have been painting night after night until 1 or 2 in the morning, plus working on things to put in the shop. So this 10 days that Alec has been gone has went by fast. He will be home on the night of the 15th. Saturday the 11th, my son, Stephen L. Hunt, Sorry, got a typo. Got to mark it so I can come back. Had his 27th birthday. It's the second time I have not been with him on his birthday. I've had so much to do. I didn't get his jacket made, but it's a little warm now, so I'm sure he won't get too upset if he has to wait a while. Sunday was a nice sacrament, but with Alec not here, it is always lonesome without him. Brother and sister went and talked, and Georgiana Mortensen as youth speaker. Dwayne Mortensen sang a solo, and it was so cute. He was only 6 years old. He continued to have a good voice because I can remember hearing him sing as a teenager when I was little. But I'm sure hearing him sing at 6 years old was adorable. So, anyways, all right. Monday, August 13th, 1984. Spent the whole day in Douglas shopping and getting stuff ready for Horizon 84. Only need a few things, but $100 went really fast. I'm getting real excited about going. Tuesday, August 14th. Alec will be home tomorrow night. Then I leave early Friday morning, so it will be such a short time. I want to have everything done so I can spend all my time with him. Today, I have prepared all my clothing so I can pack tomorrow and clean house and have everything under control so I can do nothing but visit with Alec. We were going to try to keep the water company till December. I don't know if I can stand to stay here by myself for 4 more months. I've never felt so lost and alone in my life, although I know this has to be so Alec can work, and I've never been so busy, but I realize that keeping busy, the time passes by so fast. I've been reading a book called Life Everlasting. It is such a peaceful book that it makes life in the hereafter sound so great you almost want to be there, but not really, because you don't want to leave your loved ones here. I know I have so much more to do here in this life. I have just started to learn the gospel and understand why I am here. I have so many weaknesses to overcome, but I am slowly learning to overcome them one by one. Aren't we all, Grandma? Aren't we all? I love it. All right, Friday, August 17th. We're on our way to Horizon 84. We made it in 7 hours. I was driving our car with Cheryl Allen, Janet Morris, Angel Lehman, and Marta Ball. We found our hall with 2 tries. Tinsley Hall 44. We are on the 3rd floor. After we got settled, we all put on blue t-shirts from Horizons. We received 2 t-shirts, a tote bag with Horizons on it. Then we went to lunch, sack lunches for today, ham and cheese sandwiches, potato chips, orange, and a cookie. After lunch, we went to the Sky Dome for orientation and the Great Lap Sit. What a sight. All you could see for almost 2 miles was a sea of girls in blue t-shirts. 9,500 of them. That's a lot of girls. TV cameras, the news people were there, each to see the great record set. At night, at 4:15, we all put on different color t-shirts. Our steak was bright pink. We walked to the Sky Dome in stakes and filled in the Sky Dome and took our places. Each section was like a colored rainbow. It was a beautiful sight. Each ward made quilts as a service project, and they had those put up all around the Sky Dome, and they were a beautiful sight, all 850 of them. Then they had an opening prayer and introduced President Rector, President Cap. Afterwards, they had an entertainment by the Ricks College. It was good, but long. It was after 10, and they were still going strong. We left early and returned to our rooms and had a devotional and prayer and in bed by midnight. It was a long day, and everyone was really tired. August 18th. Horizon 84 took place in Flagstaff, Arizona. The second day went a lot smoother. Everyone knew where they were going and were more prompt in going from place to place. We went to breakfast at 7:15. We took showers in the morning at 5 a.m. before the girls got up. After breakfast, we went to the Sky Dome, which is a mile away. We attended a presentation and a fashion show called A More Marvelous Me. A young lady named Vicky spoke on how her handicap, being overweight, almost ruined her life, and how she overcame it. She is still overweight, but her attitude changed. Learn to like yourself. Afterwards, we met with Bishop Thompson, his wife Ruth, and Velia Brummer, and all had lunch. Our girls were Janet Morris, Angel Lehman, Marta Ball, Cheryl Allen, Christy Thomas, Alicia Brummer, Georgiana Mortensen, Becky Mortensen, and Diana Ball. After lunch, we went to workshops. Bishop Thompson, Ruth Thompson, and I already said her name up here, but it's like Vilia Broomer and myself attended a class by Doug Bassett called Kisses at the Window. It was great. Then we attended another workshop called Self-Discovery by Ruth Stanton. Then another called Self-Esteem by Peter Jepson, a young man who had been burned severely. After classes, we went to the Young Women Recognition Banquet. It was for the young women and the leaders who had finished all their goals. It was a good dinner and a nice program. Then we hurried back to go to the Sky Dome for a Patriot show. It was excellent and all did a nice job. We came back and had devotional and prayer with our girls. We were so proud of everyone. We were so proud of every one of them. They have been so good and ladylike. We are proud of all of them. August 19th, Sunday. At 5 a.m., shower, quick breakfast, and a walk to the Sky Dome for sacrament meeting. How exciting. Almost 9,000 girls and their leaders to meet for sacrament. What a sight. 300 brethren to pass the sacrament to all those girls. It took 30 loaves of bread and it took 30 minutes to pass. What a beautiful sight. Then we all came back and it was raining. We were quite wet because some of us did not bring umbrellas. The lines were long for lunch, so we waited in our rooms. The lunch hall got mixed up and we waited and finally at 2 p.m. we ate lunch, raw hamburger and rancid salad dressing, so we did not eat lunch. We went and met with our stake president and the girls worked on their personal progress books to send to El Salvador. Then we went to dinner and changed to white dresses and marched to the dome for a fireside with Elaine Carmen and Brother Rector Jr. It was a very spiritual fireside. We had a little ruckus in the crowd. All of a sudden, some of the girls decided we should applaud after the prayer and for everything else. It was very rude, and finally, Brother Rector reminded them where they were and who they were. They finally settled down. They were not in our group. Our girls were so good. That sounds like a fantastic event that they went to. I've never heard of Horizon 84, but yeah, that sounds awesome. That was fun to read about. And could you imagine serving the sacrament to 9,000 people? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. All right, skipping ahead to September, October, and November 1984. Time flies and things happen so quickly. Lynette and I went into business together. We turned our den into shelves and a store before we hardly knew what we were doing. The shop opened and classes began. We are teaching toll painting and having fun. We are painting almost every night and getting ready for a boutique in Phoenix. We celebrated birthdays in October. There are so many in our family during that month. We also celebrated Alex's father's 80th birthday in November. It was really special. I think I might. I'll have to look. I'll look. I'll pause before I wrap this up. But I think I might have something that was written for Granddad's 80th birthday. Okay, but I'll look for that in a minute. It was really special. We celebrated Thanksgiving very quickly with Alex's mom and stepdad, and his dad and stepmom, and Alec and I. Alex's mom, Blanche, has been very ill, so we are afraid she would not come, but she did, and she ate very good. Alex's dad has been real sick and not feeling too good, but he came and all ate a pretty good meal. That was on Thursday the 22nd, and on Saturday the 24th, we had an 80th birthday party for Clark Porter Hunt. 80 years old, he was frail and very unsteady on his feet, but you never saw a more proud father of all his posterity as he was that day. Most of the gifts were fun gifts and toys, and he got a big kick out of all of them. He visited and talked with each child, grandchild, and great-grandchild. Granddad has one great-great-grandson, but he was not able to be there. As the crowd left one by one, Granddad was tired and needed to go home to rest, but I knew he would keep this day in his memory for a long time, and so would a lot of us. It was fun to enjoy all of Alex's family and know what each are doing. Okay, I actually just looked, and the poem that I have is actually for Grandma Blanche's 80th birthday, not Granddad's. So when we get to that, I will read that. So, forget I said that. Okay, let me find where I was. All right, November left us much too soon, and December was here, and each year it gets here before we know it. Lori, my second daughter, is supposed to have her baby on the 10th of December, so we have planned a surprise party for the first week of December. She will be celebrating her 30th birthday. But the 29th of November, the baby showed up. What a little doll, Tyler Wayne Fricky. He was worth waiting for. Lori was confined to bed for 4 months just waiting for him to come. He kind of messed up the surprise party, but not completely. They had planned on a surprise for me for my 50th birthday, and I was surprised. My whole family saying happy birthday as I walked in the room. I still thought it was for Lori and looked around to see her when it dawned on me she wasn't there. I almost cried. The kids got together and bought me a gold bracelet. How pretty, and what sweet, thoughtful kids. Alec is still working down in Mesa, and I'm still in Elfrida, but I am sure this will be the last month. Alec came home just a few days before Christmas, and on the 23rd we had a nice Christmas dinner for Clark and Ruth and Blanche and Doc and exchanged Christmas presents at that time. Everyone was feeling good and everyone enjoyed the meal, and we took our time and visited with one another. It was a special time. Alec and I left the next day to go to Mesa. All the kids were in Mesa at this time. It was also Lori's birthday. I had taken all of her dolls and cleaned, dressed, and combed their hair, and Doc made a beautiful glass case to put them all in, and that night we took it over to her. Lori and I and her mother-in-law, Dorothy Fricky, were in the kitchen, and she was opening up a present from her mother-in-law, and Alec and Bill got the case and brought it in and put it in the front room, and when she walked in, she could not believe it. She just cried. She didn't know I had saved all her dolls for all those years. It was so nice to see her so appreciative of what we had done. December 25th, 1984. Alec and I had gotten up early Christmas morning and kneeled in prayer to thank our Heavenly Father for this day and for the birth of our Savior. We went to Steve and Jennifer's and watched the little ones open gifts. Stephanie 2 and Chelsea 1 year. They weren't too excited because they had already had Christmas with Tabitha before she went to have Christmas with her daddy, Ron. After breakfast that Steve cooked, we went to my sister Emily's to be with her kids and my mother. My mom, Mary Latimer, looked so good. She had lost weight, although she wasn't really that much overweight. We visited with everyone, and that afternoon we went to Lori and Bill's and had a delicious meal. The kids had went together and bought us a beautiful stereo radio combo record player. I hate for them to spend so much money on us, but they really get such a kick out of it. I hate to say anything, but I know how hard it is for them to get the money. Things are so high right now. And then Monday, December 31st, 1984, New Year's Eve, we are still in Mesa, so we decided to go to a party at our old bishop's house. We went to Rick Mortensen's party. Never saw too many people we knew, only a couple of them, so things are never as they were. We change all the time. Went home around 11 o'clock, but we managed to stay up till midnight. And that's a wrap on 1984. Sorry, I was struggling through that episode a little bit. Anyways, but fun things for Grandma and Grandpa. A little bit of a hard year for them with being separated while Grandpa's working up in Mesa and Grandma's still down in Elfrida. But we'll see what 1985 brings. 84 brought another sweet grandson, my cousin Tyler, and so that's always exciting. And I know there's more babies on the way. So anyways, but I hope everyone enjoyed that episode and got to just, see a little deeper into the life of our sweet grandma, my sweet grandma. I know she's not everyone's grandma that's listening, but she's my grandma. And I just love seeing the relationship that her and Grandpa have. Obviously, it's something I've watched my entire life and have admired and been inspired by. And it's just, there's something more special about being able to read like her private words and thoughts about him. And anyways, I just think it's pretty special. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. And I will be back on in a week to jump into 1985. So everyone have a fantastic week.